Hello everyone, it's your options guy. Welcome back to another video. So in today's video we're going to talk about Palantir and Workhorse specifically and just try to digest on why it's going down and try to understand if should we still be in Palantir and Workhorse, like at least within the short term if you're like a short term or even long term play, stuff like that. So before we get into it, I just want to emphasize I'm not a financial advisor, I'm just talking about thoughts and opinions. This is for entertainment purposes. All right, let's get into it. So yeah, we're gonna cover my portfolio, just show you guys how I'm like losing money in my calls right here in Workhorse Palantir. We're gonna take a quick look at some option data just to try to figure out like what's going on with options. We're gonna take a look at some technicals at least to try to see some of the chart data, like what's happening. And lastly, we're gonna take a look at some news, try to see if there's any recent news regarding Palantir or Workhorse, just to try to understand like, you know, like did something happen. And then finally we're gonna look at R.I.P and just try to see like what have they bought, what have they sold regarding Workhorse or Palantir, stuff like that. So let's start with my portfolio. So as you can see here, basically I have calls for Palantir and Workhorse, and I bought these on Friday. Actually, I already had some on Workhorse, but I loaded up more on Friday because I thought it was a good time to buy, and obviously it wasn't based on today's action. So on Friday I was talking about how like I do feel that like the NASDAQ and well, I guess in general stocks have been having a good like run lately, like a good like back-to-back green days. And you know, Monday like we could see a pullback, and I think that's what we saw. So it wasn't well, there's only a couple stocks that rallied today, like Baba and like a few other ones, but the majority of it was just like you know. But the weird part was for Palantir, if anything, I expected Palantir to be more of like definitely rallying today and up until the demo day. We did have a nice pre-market open. We were somewhere around like the high 24s, mid 24s, seeming like we're about to like touch 25. Then all of a sudden we just like, you know, went down and tanked. Same thing with like Workhorse and some other stocks. They had very similar like chart, you know, for today. And yeah, so I thought that was kind of weird for Palantir at least, or maybe everyone already knows what to expect for demo day, so they're just like any chance they get for profit they're gonna take it out. Because I remember when I woke up in the morning, my calls were like worth 200 or more, but then I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna go back to sleep, like just wait a couple more days at least, lead up to demo day and then see what happens. But when I woke up again, I was at negative 400 and something. But see, that's why I got I bought these calls for January expiration, so I have a long expiration, so my theta is not really killing me that much. And for Workhorse, yeah, I'm negative 725 on my calls, so I'm not too worried about these shares. You know, like I can keep these shares for as long as I want, I don't care. I'm also not too worried about these calls because they are long expiration. But if you're an options person and you're trading weeklies or monthlies, you know, just be careful. Like normally what I do, if I do buy calls, I try to buy them long expiration just in case, you know, like, so in case anything happens. So yeah, it's pretty much what's going on with my portfolio. Like AYX had a pretty good run. AMD kind of tanked, whereas Nvidia went up today. ARC kind of stayed like flat. And yeah, it's pretty much what happened with my portfolio. All right, so let's take a look at what happened with some option data. So as you can see, Baba was basically the winner. Huge order flow came in for Baba, and it had a really nice rally. Apple is still having a good amount of orders coming in for calls. Tesla is also, you know, still within like top 3. Square and Nvidia definitely had a good rally as well, or at least Nvidia did. And so as you can see, Palantir is all the way down here. It only had a small amount of call orders. So let me go ahead and open that up. So if we take a look at this data, filter by where the most money went, 521 with 25 strike for the day, 140. And then someone got expiration 2023 for a $65 strike. That's way out the money. This one also 42, 42, 40 right there, 8. And for the closest, for 416s, actually let's look by expiration. Oops, there you go, 416. So 22, 22, 23, 21, 25, 24. And so they're all like, you know, relatively within the money. So there's not that much money going in for like out the money calls or strikes, you know. So it's all like within the same. So we'll see. We'll see if demo day leads up to a good rally that we hope for, or if it won't. Either way, we'll see what happens. And then let's see what else happened for. Actually, let's move on to the technicals. So let's take a look at Workhorse first. So Workhorse actually broke a support line that I had around, it was around 13. So definitely, like, you know, broke down. So it seems if it's gonna keep falling, might touch, you know, 1190 somewhere around there, or like high 11, because I think it touched it like right here. So I think that's like the next resistance line, but we'll see what happens, because I do see that the RSI, if you look at the RSI, it looks like it's getting really close to the oversold range. So usually when you see right here, when you get close to the oversold range, it bounces back up and then just has a nice clean rally after that. So we'll see what happens. We'll see if there's more downside, or if it'll start trending up from here. On the plus side, if we look at, actually, let's look at the ARC buying a little bit later. Let's take a look at Palantir right now. So Palantir is still within this 2250, 2430, 2440 range. It's still bouncing off from there. So as you can see today, it definitely touched that resistance that I had laid out there, and then it just, like, you know, tanked from there. So still within these two lines right here. If it breaks this 2240 line around there, then it may fall all the way to the next support, which is around 21. But we'll see what happens. We'll see if it can break this 2440 and then, you know, search more up into demo day. And let's take a look at some quick news. So here I'm just a market chameleon looking up some, you know, this is where I checked more recent news and stuff like that. So this article came out for Palantir, turning weakness into strength. Basically, this guy, or I don't know if it's a guy, but whoever wrote this, they're basically saying that Palantir bears often point to insider selling and the weight of government contracts to justify their position. So that's true. A lot of bears are always saying, like, yeah, there's a lot of insider selling, and like this company only has a strong business with the government. They're not really strong with the private sector, which is true. However, that's not like, I don't think that's a good reason to, like, you know, to be investing in like what it is now. You should be investing in what it would be. And obviously Palantir is breaking into the private sector more now, and they're upping their game with increasing their sales selling team and getting more partnerships left and right. I think the most biggest ones lately was like Amazon type of partnership with their ERP system. And yeah, so anyways, this person is saying that Palantir 102 to 145, and they came out with this for like within a 2 to 3 year range. And if that's true, that's like, you know, at least 5x. So we'll see what happens. But definitely long-term Palantir is definitely good. I see this when it first came out, I saw this at a strong 40 price target. And with the way things were going, I saw it at least 60 by the year end. But now that the market's not like full bull market, like on steroids, it's somewhat pulling back and consolidating a little bit more. You know, it seems like Palantir, at the rate it's going, it may be, you know, 40 if we're lucky by the end of the year. But you never know. Like, what if demo day it's a success? It causes like some other form of rally, and then, you know, that may justify, you know, or confirm like where Palantir is heading. Anyway, so let's take a look at Workhorse. So Workhorse, I thought I didn't open any particular article, but basically the latest news on almost all the news on Workhorse is all about this lawsuit that they have against, basically the lawsuit is saying that Workhorse kept saying or implying that they would get the USPS contract, and so if you were like an investor that lost a lot of money, you could like file suit with this lawsuit, and then possibly like recover some money in damages or stuff like that. So that's basically the only news that has been coming out regarding Workhorse about that whole USPS contract thing. But yeah, other than that, let's take a look at ARK. So ARK, this is basically like their list of like what they bought and what they sold. The only thing that sticks out is Workhorse. Right here, they bought 128,000 shares for their ARK X ETF, and ARK X is their space innovation ETF. It's the new one that they just came out, space and exploration, I think that's what it's called. So yeah, that's, I guess, good news, or the one good news that I see for Workhorse, other than it being oversold. And I still feel like it's gonna shoot up. It's been consolidating for such a long time that I feel like it's definitely gonna, it's only a matter of time till like it shoots up. Like, it's been definitely within this range, up and down right here. So yeah, we did go down more in like a bearish type of trend as of right now, but I still feel like it's still well within the whole consolidation trend over here, so hopefully we can get like any good news regarding like production, or like a new potential contract, or revisiting the USPS contract, anything like that. I feel like it would just make it shoot up. But that's just my opinion. Be careful with your money. That's, you have your own risk tolerance, and I have mine. But anyways, that's pretty much it for my analysis on Workhorse and Palantir. Yeah, definitely losing a lot of money, but I'm trying not to look at this negative right here, because these calls expire like way out into like another 8 months. So not too worried as of right now. So if they just keep tanking, then I'll probably just buy more if it tanks like even more like crazy. But we'll see what happens. If you like this video, please give a like, and please subscribe if you haven't already done so, and I'll see you guys in the next video.